So welcome back, grade 8s, and today we're going to be looking at interpreting graphs and the idea that every graph tells a story. Okay, so let's dive straight in, and this very first one is about some people attending a concert. So what we've got to do is we've got to try and fill in this table. So we're going to ask you just to pause the video, see if you can fill in the table, and then see if you can plot those points on the graph. Okay, and we'll ask you to pause and just have a go. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Right, so we've got, it looks as if tickets cost R3 each. So very cheap. 3 tickets will cost R9. 9 tickets for R27. 11 tickets will cost R33, and 20 tickets will cost R60. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to draw, we're going to plot those points, okay? So it's quite hard to do sort of accurately on here, but I'll do my best. 3, 9. We don't have to plot all of them. We'll see that they in fact lie on a straight line. 8 and kind of 24. And I'm just going to do the last one. 12 and 60 is a nice easy one to do. And then what we do is we join them up. Okay. Now, ideally, we should actually join them with a dotted line. And the reason being is that this is what we call discrete data. We can't have 2.5 people or 2.5 tickets. Okay, so ideally we would use a dotted line just to show that not all the points lie on the line. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can delete my purple line now. Let's have a look. Okay, that worked better than I feared it might. Okay, all right. Then it says use your graph to determine the cost of 5 tickets. So what we're going to do now is we're going to find 5 over here, and we're going to read up, all right, and then read across. And if we've done this well, we should get to 15. All right, R15. And then how many tickets can one buy for R48? Well, we're going to do exactly the opposite. We're going to start up here at 48. We're going to go across. All right, and if we've done it accurately, we should get to 16. Okay, so that graph enables us to predict and tell how many tickets we're going to use. The next one's around a car, all right, and again, we want you to just pause the video, try and fill this in, and this should say 0,5, not 0.5, but same thing. All right, in South Africa, we use a comma. And pause it and try and fill this in and plot the graph. This time you can use a solid line, and the reason being is that we can go we can go 60.5 kilometers or whatever it might be. Okay, right, pause the video and have a go. Okay, let's have a look. So it looks like the car is going 60 kilometers in half an hour. So we've doubled that time, so we must double that distance. In 1 hour, it would go 120 kilometers. In 2 hours, 240. 3 hours, 360. 4 hours, 480. And 600 kilometers would actually take 5 hours. All right, so we can plot these points. The easiest thing to do here is obviously to plot 0, 0. And we haven't got 605 hours. We've got the last one that we could plot would be 480, 20, 40, 60, 80. And that would be in 4 hours. Right, so our graph's going to look something like this. Again, it's actually going to kind of carry on. It would go to 605 hours if the graph paper went that far. Right, so then it says, use your graph to determine how long it will take to do 90 kilometers. Well, we find 90 kilometers, and 90 is over here. And it looks to be sort of halfway between a half and 1. And in fact, it's actually 45 minutes. If we were to work it out, it would be 45 minutes. We're obviously reading this off a graph, but 3/4 of an hour. How far can we go in 3.5 hours? Well, we can read that off. Okay, and we should, if we've done this well, we should get I think this graph might be in the wrong place. I'm actually now getting a little bit anxious about this. We went, yeah, sorry, I went 440. This graph is in the wrong place. My apologies. All right, let's just fix this. Okay, so 480 is actually over here. All right, and so let's have another go at drawing that. 480, 4 hours, that's better. Okay, so it's going to look more like that. My apologies. All right, so this answer here is still 3/4 of an hour because I calculated that in my head, but now we'll see that actually at 90, yeah, at 90 it's actually looking more like halfway along there. Okay, all right, how far can we go in 3.5 hours? Well, that's over here, so we're going to go across here. All right, and we get 400 and looks like 420. And in fact, 420 is the exact answer if we've drawn it nice and accurately, 420 kilometers. Okay, the next one is around people sharing a job in a restaurant. And they've got to work 30 hours per week between them. All right, so X is the number of hours that Thabo works, and Y is the number of hours that Londi works. Okay, and they've got to work 30 hours between them. So if Thabo doesn't work any, then Londi's got to work 30. All right, if Thabo works 10, Londi's got to work 20. If Thabo works all 30, then Londi doesn't have to work at all. All right, we want you to pause the video, try and draw this graph. All right, plot those points and then try and draw this graph. Okay, so 14, 16, 0, 30. Oh, we've actually got 0, 30 already over there. But anyway, 20, 10, 16 and 14, 12 and 18, 38, that sorry, should not be there, and 8 and 22. Okay, all right, so let's have a look. Okay, so now let's plot these points. So we've got 0, 30 and 30, 0. Okay. And so we're literally just going to join those 2 points up. So this time our line slopes downhill from left to right. Okay. And now it says if Thabo worked 22 hours, well, there's 22. Then how many did Londi work? All right. And we can read across to here. And we get 8. If Londi worked 12, how many did Thabo work? 10, 11, 12. We're just going to read across here. All right. And we get 16, 17, 18. Okay, right. Next one is around sharing some Coca-Cola. Okay, and this one works a bit differently again. So we've got 2 liters, that's 2,000 milliliters of Coke. Right, and we're going to share it. Okay, now if there are 20 children, we're going to take our 2,000 and we're going to divide by 20. All right, and we are going to get 100 milliliters each. All right, we're going to ask you just to pause this and just try and work out the rest of these, and then see if you can join your lines. Just join up your dots, plot your dots and join them. Just be aware that we are not going to get a straight line this time. Okay, so if there are 40 children, then 50 mils. 45, I'm not feeling clever enough today to work that out. 2,000 divided by 45. Let's just make this calculator slightly smaller. All right, we're going to get we're going to get 44 mils. 44.4 mils. Uh, 40 mils each. If we go 2,000 divided 40, we get 50 children, and 100 mils each, we get 20 children. Right. So in fact, what happens here is 20. We know 20 and 100 and 100 and 20, and we saw that 50 and 40. 40 children, 50 mils. 40 children, 50 mils. 50 children, 40 mils. Now, obviously, the more points we get, the more accurate it'll be. All right, we haven't really got any other useful points here. But what actually happens here is that this graph actually curves down like this. Okay, and obviously the more children we get, the less Coke they'll get, and the fewer children, the more Coke they'll get. Right. Okay. All right, and that's what that graph looks like. Right, the next one is around an exchange rate, and we've actually been given the graph, all right, between rands and dollars, and we just asked you to sort of do some conversions here. So how many rands is $40? Well, all we're going to do is we're just going to take here, we're going to read up, and to the best of our ability and as accurately as we can, we're going to read across here. All right, so it's looking like just over 700 Rand, maybe 720 Rand. Then it says how many dollars is 900 Rand? Well, we're going to read from dollars, from rands rather, across to dollars. Okay, and I think I might have gone slightly low there. But it looks like around 50, just a bit more than $50 maybe. Right, and we would, in an exam, we would give you a little bit of leeway there, so you wouldn't have to get it exactly right. Okay, all right. Okay, we're going to ask you to try the next couple of questions before we next see you. We're going to end today's lesson there, and we're going to, next time we'll go over question 6 and question 7. So please try those 2 questions before the next lesson. Have a great day, everyone. We look forward to seeing you next time.